What's your worst gig?
Oh, mate, I've done loads of bad gigs. Like, I've done... Because I travel around a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're... Like, well, you're doing your tour. But, like, that's people come and see you specifically.
Yeah.
And here, like, you're on home turf. I have to go to these, like, shithole towns. Like, I have to go, like, these, like, really...
Like where, Phil?
Well, like Billericay. I'll name a town. Did I tell you what happened in Billericay, right? They thought I was a paedophile because there was an incident, like, at the gate, not with me. They were... No,
I only fucked one kid and she looked 15.
I am absolutely going to get that footage and cut that bit out.
That's been deep faked.
Name deep fake.
I know, that's what I'm going to say.
You did as well, just get the clock change in time like Homer Simpson in the background. No, I went to Billericay, right? And it took me forever to get there, right? It took so long. And I was like trying out for this guy, and like it was like a open spot thing. I went to this, like, it was like one of those places where you're like, people just come to the because it's the only, like, but it was like a posh nightclub in a village.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, you get like nice places with like terraces and stuff like that? It was like one of them, but like in this little tiny town, like this like London sleeper town, you know? Yeah. And like, it was one of those where like the guy hadn't really done much work in setting up the gig, because people come to like Hot Water and it's like an amazing setup. And you think, oh, comedy must be like that everywhere. But then sometimes you go to like little bars, and sometimes they've set it up well, but then sometimes they've just not. They're like, it's our pub, we know works here. And then you go like, well, I've got like a bit of experience with this kind of thing. Maybe if you just, you know, turn the tellies off, that maybe not have the football on behind me, that would help. You know, like shit like that. And there was like, we were waiting for the gig to start. It was supposed to start at 7, didn't start till 8:30, and then I had to get a train. And like I said to the compere, I was like, mate, you've got to go on and do like 5 and then just bring me on, and whatever happens, happens. And he went on, and there was like 4 people at the back, and they were being really obnoxious, but they weren't in the gig. So they were just outside the gig. Yeah. And the spotlight was swapping like this. It was going, and they would go either side of you, and they would go and go on your crotch. And they would either side of you again. So that was what was happening with the spotlight the whole time you were on. So like I went on, was already pissed off at the gig. These people were so rude to the compere, and like they were being like, and like we went and got the bar manager, and I was like, can you fix that spotlight? Just turn it off or something. And she come in and she was like dead loud while the compere was on. Oh yeah, it's not working, is it? And I was like, why would you interrupt the show? He's already having a tough time, and you've just come on and just made some noise. So anyway, like these people were being dead rude. So I got like 7 minutes into my set, and I just lost it on them because they were just chatting away. And I'd asked them like 4 times, and I was like, next time I have to ask guys, I'm gonna be dead rude about it. And they carried on talking. So I was like, listen, shut the fuck up, you 4 cunts. And I was like, dead, like I was like, shut up. And the fellow was like, oh, you can't say that. And I went, I will fucking say that, mate. And if you don't like it, I'll fucking see you outside. And he was like, and then I was like, mate, I fucking. And then I've got this, like, I had this bit at the time that I was working on, and it was like about prison. Like it never took off. But I was like, I'll do the prison bit next. And I went, I've done fucking time, mate. And then I just skipped over it, and then like so like moved on, right? These people, then I just go off, like, you know, when I start like moaning about the gig, I just go off one. So I started doing really well. Come off, done all right. I was like, fucking legged it for the train, right? Legged it for the train, get on the train. I'm sat there, like, just minding my own business. I was like, what the shit, waste of time that. He's got an 8-hour journey back. It's a Sunday. The train's going slow. Got to go into London, out of London. And, then like 3 hours later, I just started getting all these messages on my Twitter from these like random things saying, don't ever come back to this town again. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I just forgot about it. And I was like, oh yeah, fucking big bollocks, now you've had a drink. And then like, it wasn't until like 2 years later, I went to Oxford to do the Glee. And the girl that was the open spot that night came in. And she was like, I was like, hey, we met at that shit gig in Billericay, didn't we? And then she was like, oh mate, do you know what happened at that gig? And I was like, no, what happened? And it turns out the guy that promoted the gig also had an agency. And one of the acts on the bill that week, it had been like outed in the Daily Mail that he was like, he'd done time for being a paedophile. And for some reason he texted the guy running the gig and was like, can you go and make an announcement in the break about this and just give a company statement? There was no need. These people had never heard of the company. They weren't sitting there like nonchalant, and then suddenly they Google them.
Nonchalant.
I'm not. That's good, that, yeah. Got that bit out. And so like he went on in the middle, right, just before the headline act. He went on just before the headline act, and he goes, oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, listen, you might have heard that one of our acts has recently done for paedophilia. We just like to say we step away from that, and that's nothing to do with our company. We've let them go now, and that we've got no further comment or whatever. And all these people were in the audience like, okay. And then the compere had to go back on and be like, welcome to the stage, the next act. Everyone went on. The headline act goes on and goes, well, it wasn't fucking me. The only acts that had been on were 2 women and the compere, who definitely wasn't a paedophile. And I'd just been saying, I've done time. And none of these fucking 4 blokes that are angry in the back were like, well, we're going to put 2 and 2 together. Come up with this guy. That guy we didn't like in the first place because he's got no charisma.
In Billericay, people think you're a nonce.
Well, those 4 people do, yeah. Maybe the whole crowd. But that's why I can never go back to
That's
Billericay.
a fucking amazing death.
Yeah, that wasn't a death though. That was like just one of the shithole towns.
I'm happy now that woman thought I was a racist, because I'd rather be a racist than a nonce, I think.
Sounds like a football chant. I'd rather be a racist than a no. Something singing like Billericay.
Yeah.
That proper Chelsea football fan song in it.